Hello everybody. Those that watch this channel might know that James does me these voice notes and then I turn them into videos. He's a little bit limited in Portugal where he is. I love what he's trying to do, and I really, and he's growing his vegetables and fruits and things, and quite a solitary life, I think. There's not many people around him. He's got some cats now. He makes these amazing talks. What he says in this video is that if you like the way he's talking, what he's talking about, he'll make another one. He'll make part 2. So when you've watched this video, please leave your comments whether you'd like James to make another one. I mean, some of us are sort of on the same level as James and know exactly what he's saying, but some people, waking up or whatever it is, or finding yourself, sometimes it takes years, sometimes it takes months, sometimes people are here, sometimes people are behind. It doesn't matter. But, sometimes someone says something and it does things in your brains and makes you think. And I very much like how James has explained this. So let's listen to his video, which I have called, what have I called it? I've called it Finding the Keys, Immortal Soul. Also, thank you very much, James, for making this, and hopefully we're going to get part 2.
Hi Karen, and subsequent listeners to this voicemail when it's turned into a video. I'm sure that many of you have heard of the Vatican Observatory, which is in Arizona. It's near a place called Phoenix. So if we look at the word Arizona, it's implying both horizon and an arid zone. Now I've not looked into this, but I can say 100% confident that that observatory telescope is facing north, because it is looking for the first signs of this phoenix that will come in 2040. It will darken the fifth of the sun, and it will create the moon will turn blood red. It's a sort of prelude to what happened 6 years later when the Nemesis X object falls from the sky. That is referenced in the Truman Show when that theatre light falls from the sky and Truman looks up and thinks, where did that come from? Not knowing at this stage he is in a very artificial reality. It is reflecting this reality. It's really strange, because outside of this physical reality there is no death. And if you're really honest with yourself and you really look at this objectively, consider what your fears are about. Are they not all material and to do with the physical material realm? Things like, oh, how am I going to pay this utility bill? Oh, I've got to get to work. All the business that keeps us in constant busyness, which is an extension of what happens with a newborn baby. You've come from a realm that is so vastly different from this physical reality, and you just look at a fairly newborn baby, and even up to the age of 3, you can still see it. 3.5 years old. A young child will absorb everything like a sponge, but it is, as much as anything else, a spiritual overload that creates a sort of imbalance in the scales. So a newborn baby will come into this world still having a memory of what's outside of this world, but with the process of learning language, learning 12 times table, having to experience the physical world, it comes in a forgetting or a loss. But that is reflected in something like, I've lost my car keys. Well, you haven't lost them, you just misplaced them. And where is it that they're always found? What is the saying? They're always the last place we think to look. Deep inside us, there is an immortal soul. That is your core programming. But we're encouraged to always look externally for answers, but the answers are all within. It is finding that again. That is your second coming. That is the only second coming. To find out who you are. Now, if we are to give the spirit a physical sort of dimension, it's encoded in the word immortal, because it's I'm more tall, because you are bigger on the inside than on the outside. You have unlimited supply from an ever-giving source. Those are the keys that have been lost or misplaced. Finding those again, that is reflected in this technological age for things. That is your second coming. That is the only second coming. To find out who you are. Now, if we are to give the spirit a physical sort of dimension, it's encoded in the word immortal, because it's I'm more tall, because you are bigger on the inside than on the outside. You have unlimited supply from an ever-giving source. So it's those are the keys that have been lost or misplaced. Finding those again, that is reflected in this technological age. For things to work, you have to have a strong connection. So, in terms of with a newborn baby, the organs are not fully developed. But beyond the physical, there are supersensory organs inside us that can't be seen any more than trying to physically find the soul. They need time to develop, to come from weighing up the experiences of this physical world and realizing we're only passing through it, and we are. Effectively, I'm more tall is we are the Titans of old that are brought back here. There was declared an emergency, which is emerge and see. It's emerging from within oneself. Nothing to do with the external world whatsoever. That's all distraction to confuse. But if you can undo the twists in these things, it does actually reveal a truth. It is an art spirit that is communicating. Signs by the day, you could say, which are probably greater than the number of the stars in the sky. So they are the signs by night, but the signs by day can come in numerous, infinite forms. Interactions with others, communications with others, scenes you find yourself in, the opportunities are always being presented to us to think, the universe is reflecting something back to me to learn from. Some of those greatest learning experiences are the things that we would think are the most awful, but they're actually not. You emerge from these things the better for it, because you've gone through the experience. Because isn't it strange that why would something that is so on the surface against astrology and such like, why would they have an observatory? What are they looking for? And I feel the key to that is the location of the book. It's location specific in this material world. It is in Arizona, and it is near a place called Phoenix, because it is the Phoenix that they are looking for, to know that that's the start of the end of this chapter, after which the sky will appear, that the stars will fall. Now, this is not a prediction, because time is not linear. It's a series of circles, it's a series of loops, they often overlap. So what has happened in the past is in what will happen in the future. It is just recognition of patterns. They may be played out slightly differently. So the famous biblical flood in the technological age is a flood of information, an overload of sensory perception to negate the use of the supersensory perception, where you turn the senses inward. The real seeing is in the... They don't quite sort of line up quite literally, but the expression, "oh, I see what you mean," well, you're not actually seeing with the eyes, are you? So that's just one example of it. Or, "I hear what you're saying." Yes, you're hearing the words, but you're hearing the context of what is being said. There's a huge difference in these things. It's always in a realm where everything appears to be contrasts, to see things one way, but also see things the other way, and find the balance between the two. I'll leave it there, because otherwise this would be too long, but I can carry on with far more to this that reflects the IXI, which is physically reflected in the optic nerve, because IX in Roman numerals is 9 and XI is 11. There is no coincidence that anything that is being shown in the external, it just has a twist on the way it is said, in exactly the same way as you can have a photograph that does not lie, but the caption that goes with it can be there to mislead, follows exactly the same pattern. So I hope that has maybe sparked a few things with people, because my intention is going with safety in numbers here. Help as many find those keys that you think you've lost. It's just you can't remember where those keys are, and it is always the last place you look, which is always go within. It is all an inside job, which I don't think I need to offer any examples of that. You can just look at the political world, the state religion world, the science world, and you'll find that it is all an inside job. And even if we talk to carry this on, if we were to talk about looking below the surface, what goes on beneath, as in the underground military bases, there's always something going on below the surface. But here's the twist. I didn't get an invite to that party, but I'd rather take my chances on the surface. So there is a surface level to everything, and there is a theme of taking the middle path. So if we look at what may be up in the sky, it could be called heavens. What goes on below the earth is called hell. So we're on the middle earth, we're on the earthing plane. So I would say this is the best place to be, because if you know and feel that the universe has got your back, there is nothing that you will witness that will actually harm you. But you have to lose doubt and fear. To do that requires finding those keys. Keys, you could also say in the musical sense. So hopefully I struck a few chords, and hopefully you liked the tone of this as well. So unconditional love to you all, and I hope that has given something to weigh up inside.